So, Dwayne, for our bonus question, what's is one common misconception about generative AI in education that you wish more people understood today? And it can be from that instructional design educator standpoint, however you want to approach that.
So, I like to think of this, when you pose that question, a whole bunch of things came to mind. Some like very technical things, like we could talk about, the statistical probability, and prompt engineering and all this other things that come up. But what I think is a bigger one is just the kind of either or kind of thought process. It's great or it's bad.
Mhm.
And the technology itself is not good or bad. It's how it's used. And that's where we really have to put thought in. I think you see a lot of stuff if you go out and look at Google searches and all kinds of stuff. You'll find where there's a lot of stuff, a lot of research, a lot of great ideas people got out there about how we should use it. There's not a lot out there when we should not use it. So I think there's a gap there that we really need to explore. And we kind of hit on it. We talked about like domain knowledge. And when I really think about where we need to really think about restricting that type of technology is when we're developing that foundational domain knowledge. And then even if we're looking at a professional arc of somebody going from novice to master and having all those formal and informal type of education, we not only need to do that during the developmental, but we also got to have that where we maintain expertise and we improve expertise. If we use this tool just to shortcut, cognitive offload, cognitive substitution, whatever term we want to use, we're not maintaining expertise, and then we have that condition of skill erosion. So when I
Mm.
think of that professional development cycle that we have in our professions, we have to think about it there too, so that we're maintaining our level of expertise so we don't have that problem when the system fails and we don't know what to do. Right.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. Because as I think about our role as instructional designers and then with the educational technology, one of the things from the very beginning, I got my degree back in 2013 with instructional design. And so, but from that point forward, I thought to myself, I need to continue to use the tools. And then when I got to the current position I'm in now, I don't use those tools every day, but I still make sure that I maintain that skill set because for me, it was an investment in that and being able to make sure that yeah, I spent the extra money to have a subscription to Captivate at the time, but it was great because if I was out of that tool too long, then I found that I had a hard time remembering where things were and how to do things. So you're right. I mean, that skill development needs to be constant, right? Where we're constantly upskilling ourselves, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna push back to my military days, but I had a saying to my troops, if you couldn't do your combat role without technology, you weren't tactically competent.
Mm. Wow.
Right. So, and that's always stuck with me. So that give me maybe a slant on how I view kind of using these different technologies. Because I've taught courses, hybrid in class. I mean, all kinds of different. Some of the best classes I taught were outside scratching in the dirt.
Mm.
Right. My technology was a stick and some stones, but it was effective. So we really have to think about it's not just the technology and the novelty of of using it. How is that technology helping you better achieve the learning outcome?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's fantastic, Dwayne. I love that. Yeah. That's great. It's not just something that we're tacking on, right? That's wonderful. Great.